Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good middle of the night, whatever it is. Okay, I'm a bit hoarse because I was drinking last night. So, this is a little experiment, stream this, simply because of all of these time zones across the world. As everyone knows, I like 10 o'clock in the evening, UK time, but that's 5 o'clock in the morning here, so I really can't commit to anything like that. But I'm going to give this a go. This stream will be will be useful to somebody. We'll see what happens anyway. Boo hoo, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you. Andrew Johnson, my Pattaya friend, he's here now. Nice to hear from you, mate. Robert Jones, good morning. Mango 8, Sean Young, Anders Bergman, boo hoo. Hello, Cy London. I'm going to put that on the screen. Hello from London. On strike today. Hope you're having a good time. Oh, no, Jesus. It's all kinds of strikes. Is Britain facing the winter of discontent all over again? It seems like. In fact, there are some people, some theories that say that this winter of discontent could be worse than, the one in 1979. I'm so glad that I'm here. Archie Westmoreland, nice to hear from you. I met Archie yesterday. I'm up early. Actually, I think this is just after the 11 o'clock. This is just after the 11 o'clock in Thailand. David Coleman. Hi, Eddie. Nice to see you. It's 11:05 in Toronto. Okay, well, that's good. You see, this could be a stream for, I'm going to repeat what I said a moment ago, but I do like the 10 o'clock in the UK through the week, but you just can't suit everybody, really. Anyway, Kiki on the Trail of Love. Nice to hear from you. Another night owl. Yeah, well, you would be a night owl if you're in England. David Coleman, what time is it here? It's 10 past 11 in the morning. Mr. Thanksgiving here, 9:10 p.m., 50 degrees. Okay. Good for you. So obviously you're in America. Jason Barnes, nice to hear from you. David Coleman, you were looking really good. Is that for real? That comment, is that for real? Okay. Anders Bergman, West End Leicester, 4:10 a.m. in Leicester. Okay. See, I'm a bit of a night owl. Back in the UK, there's bound to be somebody who's still up. You may have just watched, a movie on Netflix, and you're going to have your last couple of beers before you go to bed. And all of a sudden, this scruffy, just got out of bed person just appears on the screen. David Mayer, nice to hear from you. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? I've got a new little item, for the film fans. And anyway, you might find it interesting. We can talk about anything. This is the Steady Eddie Live channel. If I've got anything to experiment on, then I'll do it on this channel. And anything to experiment, I'll do it on this channel. I don't see any harm in that. But if you're interested in movies and you're interested in my opinions on movies, and maybe you have your own, we've got a little item that I've thought of, which I'd like to share from you. Now, this is something that you don't see me doing very often. Cup of coffee. Lovely. Do you know what? I could do with some biscuits now. Some. I've only just woke up. I could do with some biscuits to go with this coffee. But what I'll do is I'll just drink coffee and I'll have a wander around the town. I'll probably have a nice dinner later on. Might even squeeze in a dirty massage. You never know. Okay. So where are we now? Archie Westmoreland, did you get your socks and shorts yesterday, Eddie? Yeah, I've lost a bit of weight, but somehow extra large, XXX large shorts, Calvin Klein's, still I wouldn't trust them to fit me. I just wouldn't trust them to fit me somehow. So I did have it. I did get me shorts and a few pairs of socks and all that kind of stuff. And I do get through the the laundry. I was watching someone else's stream, and this guy said that He has three shirts, just three shirts, and he washes them in the shower. I still can just squeeze my suitcase clothes. I don't know where the stuff comes from. Robert Jones, watching you from Cheap Charlie's on Bacau. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. I don't need. I wouldn't mind biscuits now, a few biscuits, right? But I don't really feel hungry right now for breakfast, simply because at about 2 o'clock this morning, I was in a cafe on Second Road, and I had something to eat then. It was a bit hit and miss. Some of it was good, but some of it wasn't so good. So I don't really feel hungry right now. David Coleman looks like he lost a few pounds. Really? Oh, I don't know. Not much. Not much. Okay. West End Leicester. Boot ticket. Flight 5th of December. Can't sleep. Oh, good for you, mate. Good for you. I think, I'm off to Cambodia in about a week into week into December. But well, good luck for you. Good luck to you, mate. Anyway, good luck to you. Andy Johnson, Eddie, did you go to High Rollers for the England game? I missed it. I seen a bit of it. I actually thought it started at 11 p.m. I think it was getting a bit confused. And then it started at 8 p.m. And I seen there's a little bar close to the hotel where I'm staying. So I seen a bit of it. But I must admit, considering there was lots of goals in there, everyone who spoke to you about the game seemed to say it was boring, really. No, I didn't say it. Bulldog, you're sick. Thank you. David Mayer, how many babes have been through that? Oh my God! Some people just bloody think of the one baby, don't they? Joseph Derek, see, I've got all the Thai people there. Joseph Derek, morning from John TM. Good morning. David Coleman, Eddie, from what I understand, you can buy everything in Thailand. Why take all that big stuff? I don't know how I do it. I really don't. I squeeze my all my t-shirts and other things in there, and it doesn't really seem like much. But I bloody struggle to get the suitcase closed again. I don't know how I do it. I just don't know how I do it. As for those black t-shirts, now I know they're faded and jaded, and they're years old now, and I've wandered that. But you know what? They still wash, and they still wash, and they're still good. They're comfortable, you see. So I just keep wearing them. Why do you all know? Boo-hoo. Andy Shaw was, okay. Wayne Davidson, thank you for that super chat. That's England. So you're in, are you going to, did you say that you're, no, that's West End Leicester. Wayne Davidson, a big thank you for that super chat. Well, that's a good start to my day. Wayne Davidson, £20, okay. I wonder what we'll spend that on. Cheers for that, mate. Much appreciated. Very kind of you. Ben Leno, nice to hear from you. Ben Leno, I'm off to Cambodia second week of December. Oh, good for you. Well, I mean, I'm going to be, similar time anyway. So Cambodia's a great little country. It'll be interesting to see what the changes are, because I don't bang on about this all the time, but whatever's happened with Chinookville just isn't, the fun beach village that it used to be. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to making vlogs because, to be honest with you, as everyone knows, Pattaya has been sort of done to death. It's been done to death as far as YouTube is concerned. And you struggle for content here anyway. So I think once I get to Cambodia, I think it'll be very refreshing for me. I think I'll find a lot more to make videos on there than I do here. So. David Coleman, do you have to have the air conditioning on in your room right now? Well, I do have it on. Sometimes when it goes a bit cold, I switch it off, but I'm going to switch it back on a minute because it's getting a little bit sweaty in there. Ben Leno, Pattaya for the first time. Okay, good for you. No, it's good. It's good stuff here now. It's good stuff. You'd like it. John S. Steady Eddie, nice to see you smiling and enjoying life. I am. It's okay. It's a good feel-good factor. And I met so many people wherever I go, I meet people who say, "Oh, I know you, man," and they've all been absolutely cool. They were, even casually, I'm a subscriber of yours, man. I love your channel. Great. That's terrific. That makes me feel so good. It really, really does. Okay, you're always going to meet the occasional idiot. It's like working with the public. About 99% of people, when you work with the public, are as good as gold. There's always going to be the occasional dickhead somewhere. I haven't met the occasional dickhead yet on this. No, don't worry, he'll be out there somewhere. No, what is it? Well, I mean, you're set for drinking coffee at this time, mate. It's 20 past 11 in the morning. It's a good time to be. Okay. Wayne Davidson. Sorry, I missed you in Vogue Hotel. I'm now in Udon Thani. Udon Thani sounds good. That sounds good. You're in the Vogue. You never know. I've not really been much to northern Thailand. I've been to a bit of it, but not really that much. So it could well be on the menu for the new year. We'll see. I know that Cheap Charlie is in northern Thailand right now. There's a couple of vloggers there. David, mate, I still wear clothes about 30 years ago. As long as it's clean, and it's washable. I mean, then that's fine. I mean, it's comfortable and clean and comfortable. As long as it's clean and comfortable, that's fine by me. Jason Barnes, okay. Eddie, I'm in a wheelchair. I want to visit Thailand. Would it be difficult for me to get around? No, that's a very that question, I'd have to be careful how I answer that because I'm not an expert on that sort of thing. I have seen people in wheelchairs in certain restaurants, and I couldn't answer by saying that all of the places that you need to go have facilities, but a lot of them do. A lot of the places have hotels and stuff have ramps. I would imagine where you might have problems would be on the ordinary pavements, because I mean I struggle to walk along the pavements. Sometimes there's motorbikes and there's rubbish in the way. If you walk along, the beach road, the sidewalk, sometimes there's you've got motorbikes parked and sometimes it's bloody I know some areas where they have dogs just lying asleep on the pavement. So you've got to be aware of that. But one thing I do know, Jason, is that whenever I've seen people in wheelchairs, Farangs in wheelchairs, the Thai people tend to be very, very helpful. So so that's about the best answer I can give you, mate. Really, I hope that was good enough. Farang Chef, welcome back to Thailand. Okay, thank you. David Coleman, I'm so jealous of myself. There's lots of people who would love to be in, lots of people would love to be in Toronto. There's lots of people who wouldn't like to be in the UK right now, but the grass is always greener. This is okay. I'm happy. I mean, one thing you can't. Let me just say, in the couple of weeks that I've been in Thailand, the weather hasn't been very good. There's been, I won't say a lot of rain, but sort of regular rainstorms, and the odd thunder and lightning. And even now, I can look out there, and there's no blue sky. It's always it's grey. I mean, the days seem to be either rainy or grey, or at best misty. So the weather hasn't been, wonderful here. But let's see. The weather hasn't been wonderful here. But I forgot what I was going to say then. But the one thing about here is the heat. The heat. You don't have to worry about putting your heat on. I put the aircon on in the hotel room to cool things down. When it gets cold, I just switch it off, and now I'm sweating again. You can't fault the climate here. The temperature, I mean. Okay. David Mayer, Baby Oopsie in 2021 is good. It's a funny horror movie. Never seen that one. Andrew Johnson, okay, my Pattaya friend. He lives in John TM. Andrew Johnson, I've seen people in wheelchairs in go-go bars. So that's definitely a possibility of a good night. Yeah, that is a possibility. I'm just going to drink the rest of this coffee. I shouldn't joke this, but it was. I did think it was a little bit of a comedy sketch. I was in a go-go bar once, sitting in a go-go bar, and all of a sudden the curtains, from outside opened, and a man in a wheelchair came in, and the go-go dancers. The go-go dancers, they were wonderful. They come off the podium, and they helped the guy in his wheelchair, and they helped him to sit down in the go-go bar, and I thought that was really wonderful. And then, one of the waiters come up and said, "Do you want a drink?" And he looked around and he said, "No, I don't want to stay here." Basically, after they helped him in the wheelchair, to helped him to sit down, he then looked around and seen that all the girls weren't naked. They had bikinis on, and he didn't want to stay there. He wanted to go once, just go bar where they're naked. Such gratitude that is, isn't it? Oh, okay, I was just saying, just saying. Let's see. Okay, bend over. 5:20 in Norway. Good morning. No, Norway. That sounds like a lovely, charming place to be. Where are we now? Sidharth. There's a place for everyone in Pattaya. That's the vibe. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, Pattaya's a great place. David Coleman, if you have money and in a wheelchair, you can still go anywhere. Okay. Siddharth, I enjoy the rain in Pattaya. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd rather see a blue sky personally. Okay, Malcolm Crick. Airfares must be putting many off. 1,200, 1,200 quid up at the moment. Oh, well, it's December now. I mean, if you are booking for December, Christmas time, then really you've left it a bit too late. Really, haven't you? I mean, you should book things well in advance. And I've never flown out here in the month of December anyway, because by all accounts it's expensive. I think January would be best, but obviously with work restrictions, some people can only do Christmas time and that sort of stuff. David Coleman, I keep checking the airfare from Toronto, and it's getting so expensive to fly there. Well, there you go. Excuse me, I'm just going to put this on I'm just going to put the kettle on again. Refill my coffee cup. Back in a mo. Oh, that kettle takes a long time. I had a talk there, so I have to change my shirt 5 times a day. Well, it's sweaty. I'm a naturally sweaty person. It hasn't been that bad here, but yeah, I think twice a day is enough for me. But you can't fault the temperature. I mean, cold weather doesn't exist there. It just doesn't exist, which is wonderful. I mean, it's worth being here for that alone. Who's this? Thai Bob. Eddie, there's a big storm sat over the Gulf of Thailand. It should clear soon. The weather improve in the next few days. I hope so. But they've got the big firework display on here at this weekend. And I did hear someone say the other week that people were struggling to book hotels during that festival. Apparently, it's going to be a big festival here. Well, I've already got my hotel and I'm quite happy with it. So I will be bringing a little bit of a video from the firework festival, that sort of thing. Okay, coffee time. Okay, so yeah, big firework festival coming soon. Bend over, charming with snow, rain, cheers. Snowy environment. If you're in Norway, I've never been to Norway, but I've been through Switzerland and Austria, and like those snowy mountains. Do you know something? Do you know something? On Facebook, I seen the most beautiful picture of a mountain. I think it might have been Austria. I think it was probably Austria. It was actually taken from a scene from the movie Where Eagles Dare. And I've seen this picture of a snowy mountain in the background, and in the foreground, a beautiful picture of my favourite dream woman, Ingrid Pitt. Oh my God, a lovely picture, beautiful. It wasn't a scene still from the movie. It was actually taken, off set, but a lovely, charming picture of Ingrid Pitt amongst that snowy background. And oh my God, if that ain't, is that it? I would love to be there with Ingrid Pitt, me and her walking through the snow, holding hands, and I'd love that. Anyway, what am I going on about now? Paras in the Philippines. Every video I see of Pattaya is full of Indian tourists. So it's not full of it. It isn't. There's a fair few of them, but it's a myth. Walking Street is not full of Indians. I mean, a lot of people say that Walking Street, the main touristy strip in Pattaya, but it isn't. I mean, they did okay. Come on. I can think of something much worse than bloody. How about British lager louds shouting about football, football. You don't see Indians doing that. I can think of a lot of English people who bloody do that. Indians are cool. I like Indians. I like them. Farang Chef, it's been overcast for the. We'll talk about. We'll talk about. You know, football. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Sorry about if I use a bloody brain dead voice. I just think sometimes it's appropriate. Okay, Farang Chef, it's been overcast for the last 3 months. I'm in Samui now, and the sky is grey with mild wind. Yeah, I mean, do you know something? There are some countries, some parts of the world where you get lovely, beautiful blue skies, but and others that you don't really get that much blue sky in this part of the world, really, in Asia, in Thailand, Malaysia, somehow at best, there's always a little bit of a haziness in the sky. Where if you go to places like Turkey in the summertime, or even sometimes in the wintertime, or the Greek islands, you get such beautiful cloudless skies there. It's really, really deep blue skies in that part of the world. So you don't really see that many blue skies here. But the weather's good enough, so that's good enough for me. Let's see. Okay, it's been overcast for three months now. So okay. Let's see. Okay, Frank Chef. I was in Phuket when they got all the floods, roads and paths. I think September and October are traditionally the real heart of the rainy season, and they probably had it more severe here this year than they have in other years. November, the weather hasn't been good. It's like as if the rainy season should be finishing now, but it's not going out without a fight. You know what I mean? It's not going out without a fight. But it will be nice. The good weather will be on the way. Stephen O'Connor in Phnom Penh. Okay, greetings from a rainy Phnom Penh. Just having lunch and back to work. Okay, well, coffee. Well, I'm having a coffee here. Not something you regularly see me doing on a live stream, but I'm having a nice coffee. And this is the Steady Eddie live channel. This could very well be not a bad little. I'm frustrated with the different time zones in the world. You can't play it, but I think this could be not a bad little time to do live streams on this channel. We'll see how it goes anyway. There's 62 people in the chat now, so I mean it's evening time in America. I think let's see, it's 4:30 here. Okay, so No. Half 11 here, so it could be half 11 in the States. But then some parts of America, it could be early evening in some parts of America. It's crazy the way the time zones are. Anyway, nice to hear from you, Steve. Anyway, have a good day. Farang Chef, except yesterday was nice. Went to Samui Elephant Kingdom. Amazing place. The animals are well looked after. Well, I was in Samui. I didn't actually know whether that was open. But what I did, the last elephant place I went was in Koh Chiang, and I didn't like the idea of chained elephants with chains. You know what I mean? I wasn't so keen on that. Okay, David, mate, I thought Caroline Monroe was your girl. I love Caroline Monroe. Caroline Monroe and Ingrid Pitt. Oh, my dream sandwich. Oh, my God almighty. Let me see. David Coleman, 100% we're going to the elephant sanctuary. Yeah, I like animals, but I'd like to think that they're well looked after. Malcolm Prick. No, I'm not Malcolm Crick. I didn't mean to say that. It's nice to see you, AM instead of PM. So you will be in England then? Yeah, I mean, things have a bit of a night out in England. I mean, I'm sure there's. How many streams live streams are going in the early hours of the morning? West End Leicester, 4:30, yeah. Jason Barnes, 11:30 p.m. in Virginia Beach. Okay. Nice to hear from you. In Virginia Beach. Where is Virginia Beach exactly? Where is that exactly? Paras in the Philippines, 8:35 NG. But yeah, it's amazing. The difference in time. Fatboy Slim, I studied in the UK. Spoke for being seeing you on live. Okay, all right. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, more information than we needed. Okay, so I'll say you what, we're going to do just a little bit of a question, and then we got a little bit of a film item for those who are interested in it. Okay, and that'll probably encourage most people to switch off. Okay, now the balance. Okay, now the World Cup is on at the moment. The World Cup, the World Cup. Let me just get the title of this. Okay, there you go. There's a title there. Okay, there's a title there, and I'm not a big football fan. I mean, football's a great game, but it's the falseness of it. I mean, it's the falseness of it. I mean, football, the Premier League can be bought by people. I mean, some billionaire who's got no connection with England other than he likes English football can wave a blank check, and then some obscure team which couldn't win an egg and spoon race is all of a sudden winning all the trophies under the sun. So it's not a real game to me. But it touches the lives of people across the world. But now we've got the World Cup, and there's been loads of controversy, about, especially with to do with the rainbow. People, with LGBTQ. What is the phrase for people who say that? Is it the LGPG to PG tips? I think it's something like that. I think it's something like that. And Qatar doesn't approve of these people. And I just say boycott. If you don't like it, don't go to the World Cup. If you don't like their strict rules and their their unpolitical correctness, then just don't go to the World Cup. But I must admit, I'm really, really, really incensed that that they're turning away people because they've got the rainbow colours, for wearing rainbow flags. I mean, what is wrong with rainbow? I mean, I love rainbow. You know what I mean? I absolutely love rainbow. I mean, there you go. There is the historical rainbow as we knew it in England as kids. You've got Jeffrey, Bungle, George, and Jeffrey, Bungle, Zippy. He's the one with the big gob, and George. Now, the thing is, it's called rainbow. Now, this was called rainbow years before rainbow was associated with something else. But isn't it funny? Okay. Isn't it funny that you look back on all of this children's this iconic children's TV series, and George, he's the George is the pink hippopotamus. Now, did we think this when we were watching this as kids, that George, the pink hippopotamus with the black eyeshadow, black and red, mascara on? Did we think anything about him? And it's clear now. I mean, it's called Rainbow, and you got George there, haven't you? I mean, what was? I mean, how did George? No, I can't even attempt at doing. I can't even attempt at doing George's voice, because it will be, some people will find it offensive. Let's just say that he was effeminate, to say the least. Anyway, so where are we now? Let's see. David Coleman, I think it's a lot safer to walk around Thailand than it is to walk around the UK. These absolutely, I agree with you, mate. I mean, in the UK, you can't walk 10 meters without somebody trying to sponge your fiver off you or borrow your money. In the UK, you get cheeky bastards who actually come up to you and say, hey mate, can I borrow your mobile phone? I need to make an urgent call. But he wants it for the drugs. Imagine a complete stranger comes up to you and asks to borrow your mobile phone. How bloody cheeky is that? That's the UK. In the UK, the UK, I hate using outdoor ATMs, because some bastard will just appear out of thin air and creep up behind me and try and strike up a conversation. And don't think for 1 minute, by the way, that I'm talking about immigrants or anything like that. They are white English people, dossers, lowlives, scabby bastards. Yeah, who do. Oh, don't even get me started on the UK. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Malcolm Craig. Okay. Who's this? Hey, glad you're having fun. Sorry I missed you in Pattaya. I had to return to the UK. I will have a story to tell you sometime. Have you been to any pool parties yet? Not exactly. But nice to have you. You've returned to the UK. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, nice to hear from you. Anyway, I trust you had a good time. Lincoln, hi Eddie. Never taken a winter trip, and Thailand looks a great place. Oh, it's perfect. Plane fares high, but considering I am coming here, I haven't found a direct flight from the US without 1 or 2 stops. Okay. Well, winter, I mean, years ago we wanted to go to a place like Spain and Greece and whatever, but they're not warm. But winter sunshine is the way forward, and that's the thing to do, isn't it? You come out here, the weather's only going to get better. It's only going to get worse in England, but it's only going to get better in Thailand in the coming months. Promise you, wonderful time of the year. Frank Chef, can't watch the World Cup as I have 3BB, and they don't have the rights to get. Oh, you're not bloody missing anything. Load of crap anyway. Malaka, I'm heading for the rumpy bumpy monger. You dirty bastard. Listen, if you see me down there, just don't tell the girls I'm a YouTuber. Don't tell them. Okay. Rudolph Jacobs. Frank Chef, they're supposed to be negotiating with True Move, but the term will be over by the time they come to an agreement. And it's a pity it's a pity, some sports that you can't watch. I remember the time when years ago when sport was, we could get anything on TV, but now sport is a business. It's a business, isn't it? It is a business, really, and somebody's making money. Fat Boy Slim. Hi, Eddie. I study Eddie. Is Pattaya getting busy now and getting back to normal? It is back to normal. It is. It's busy. It's like the old days, he said. So anyway, what was this question again? This question is football taken far too seriously? I mean, I think it is, absolutely. And usually the ones who take it the most seriously are drunken men my age. Not kids. I mean, all right, kids. I mean, you expect kids to be bloody kids and young people to be young people getting excited about football. But some of the one type of person I cannot bear, and I know a few people like this. They're always they're always older men, and they simply got no conversation whatsoever other than football. I actually know people. You see, the bloody house could be burning down around you, and this pillock will still want to talk about football. Oh my! I just can't relate to people like that. Can't relate to people like that. David Martin, Blackmore, the legend. Okay, talking about Richie Blackmore. He was a good guitarist. Andrew Johnson. It's funny that one of the World Cup sponsors is Budweiser. Budweiser. And no alcohol allowed. Well, yeah. But it's all about money, isn't it? It's business. I mean, I don't. Yeah, somebody's making money out of football, and it's all a business. I mean, Budweiser is still probably making money out of it because they've got their name up there. Even though I don't like Budweiser, not my favorite one, but it's all a business. I can't get it how the average man in the street is so passionate about his sport when he doesn't make anything from it, but there's people making millions and billions and all of that. Okay. Malacca, I used to get whatever. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. David Mayer, the Spice Heads of the way. Yeah, we got loads of them. And England's, they're all over England, mate. They're all over there. No sympathy for them whatsoever. David Coleman, I will not watch the World Cup for a number of reasons. Well, mister, that's his reason for not watching it. Yeah, boring. What is he talking about me? David Coleman, the lower class soccer fans are the ones that are being taken to the cleaners with this foolish soccer stuff. Okay, well, there's a question for you, right? The team that is just winning everything these days, the super team of the English Premier League in the last 10 years or so is Manchester City. I mean, they are supreme. If you love great, I don't watch them, but I'm reliably told by football connoisseurs that Manchester City are just a super team right now. So the way I look at it, Manchester City was a team supported by the real Manchester people, yes? Whereas Manchester United was more of an international team. That's the way I was understood it, okay? So the question I'd like to ask, because I don't know the answer to this, maybe someone can tell me, but Manchester City, the super team, right? How many of those players were born and raised in Manchester? How many? Anyone know? There's a funny answer for you. Sean Harris. Oh look, Zippy Jeffrey's going out. We'll put petrol on instead with the voice in the whatever. Absolutely. Yeah. I've seen there's a few funny things on YouTube about Rainbow. Well, what was the? Do you ever remember Rob, Jane, and Freddie, the singers? Wasn't. Didn't he have a little bit of a love triangle? We don't even go there. David Mayer, hell yeah, okay. Eason man, he's actually in Thailand, so he's on a similar zone to me. David Coleman, same way, but I'm on the right. Apologies, most of my reads are probably different, but I can agree. But I can agree on 6,500 indentured slaves going on with, oh yeah, all those people who were supposed to have died during the making of those, bloody awful. Fatboy Slim, better things to do in Thailand than watching football. Okay, do you know? I say in football taken far too seriously. Do you know? When I was driving along a road during a couple of World Cups ago, probably about 8 years, something like that, and there was one pub in a rough part of town where I live, and these people in there don't have a great deal of brain cells, but they work hard, these people, and then they drink hard. And when the day that England went out of the World Cup, they were booted out of the World Cup simply because they weren't good enough. I think it was about 8 years ago. And there was a couple of guys outside dressed in England's scarves and all this kind of stuff. And these two men were about my age. They were about my age. and they were crying. They were holding each other and crying. They were crying. England's got out the World Cup. Oh, get a bloody life, man. They don't bloody give a damn about you. They don't care about you at all. David Merchant, Richie Blackmore and Rainbow Connect. I didn't know that there was a Richie. Is there a connection? Richie, the legendary Deep Purple guitarist. Oh, of course. He was in a band called Rainbow. Okay, absolutely wonderful, marvelous. Since you've been gone, the problem with Richie Blackmore is that he brilliant guitarist, absolutely wonderful. But he couldn't get on with the other people in the band. I mean, you look at Rainbow, how many lead singers did he go to? He probably fell out with them all. Let's see now. David Coleman, Issa, man, I'm right wing. I'm with you, Mr. I believe in you, man. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All the way there, man. Frank Chef, you think Ronaldo was treated fairly by Man United? I have to say, I actually don't care. I don't care because I don't take football that seriously. And I think Ronaldo has got loads of money. He's got more money than I'm ever going to have in my entire life. And I don't give a damn about him. I really don't care. I really don't bloody care. David Coleman, he wants to go to beautiful Thailand and sit in a bar watching football. Well, it's many you do, mate. It's about a night out for people. I mean, I misjudged the time of the World Cup, but I did go to a little bar here, and I've seen the second half of it. A little quiet little bar, but when you think about it, the opening game, England versus Iran. You're not going to expect miracles in that. I mean, Iran are really the most renowned football side in the world. So if England, beat them fair and square, so what? I mean, there may be better things to go. It may get more interesting, but I just don't see. And even when England go out of the World Cup, I will not be crying. I'll tell you that much. I will not be crying in the bloody streets. David Martin, Phil Foden. I don't know who that is. Ben Leno did you're talking about Manchester people who actually play for Man City. There are quite a few: Rashford, Foden, plus some Yorkshire like Haaland and Walker, Stones, Maguire. I mean, are they the prominent ones though? Are they the prominent ones? I don't really, but I mean, it's those people were actually born in Manchester. Then, well, good for them. Good for them. I'd take it back. Well, some of it anyway. Some of it. But they're not this. Are they the actual superstars? Are they the multi-million ones who are scoring the goals? Charles Olivier, nothing wrong sitting at a bar with whatever you are and watching football, especially during the events like the World Cup. Yeah, it gives you something to do anyway. Something to do. David Merchant, football too corrupt now. No, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Football won't be getting any of my money. I know that bloody much. David Mayer, rather watch EDDY than football. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, cheers. Charles Olivier, USA will beat England. Okay, fine. Let me see. So, Tony, yeah, I used to get emotionally involved in American NFL football and woke up and realized it was pointless. I still have friends trapped in that season-to-season cycle. This is American football. It's okay. I mean, it probably costs a fortune. I know some people who spend an absolute bloody fortune. Some people who live at the other end of the country travel to Liverpool or whatever to see their team, and if they want to spend the money, I know one guy was telling me, many years ago, he spent £7,000 one year following Manchester United around the world. Now, in today's money, that's probably about bloody 20 grand in today's money. If you want to do that, if you're really passionate about it, but at the end of the day, yeah, you know, you really got to be into football to feel that way. David Coleman, okay, you're entitled to your opinion. Who's this? Liam talked easy, my man. You're looking positively Hollywood. Oh, well, I've never been called that before. Oh yeah, no, here's a good here's a good one. Pocono Schwartz. All pro sport are about dollars. Money is better spent on soy 6. Hey, I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. Oh, do you know something? I met a lovely lady the other day who was, God, I was absolutely gobsmacked. And I'm not kidding. I was absolutely gobsmacked when she told me she's 38 years old. They really do age well these times, but they age so. I would expect it's middle to late 20s at the most. 38 years of age. Jesus. Oh, okay. That's all I'm saying. Farang Chef, Rainbow was awesome all night long. Since you've been gone, I surrender. Graham Bonnet was a great singer. He was a great singer, but he didn't last very long, did he? He didn't last very long. I think the singers kept falling out with Richie Blackmore, and he got rid of them. Barry Harmon, hi Eddie, enjoyed your video so far. Couldn't agree more with your views on football. Okay, thank you. Bobby Crush, Eddie, do Ty Bargill's take an A, or is that just in beta? Okay, nice to hear from you, Bobby. David Mayer, betting on football is a big problem. Okay. David Coleman, English soccer hooligans. That's all the world thinks when you think of soccer. Now, that's an interesting point that you brought up there, Dave, because I wonder. I wonder, you know, do other countries, do America and Canada, do they have the same crowd problems with sporting events as what we have in it? Because we've had some terrible events. English, there's a yacht business, you know, at football matches, even at boxing matches. You know, the crowds have got out of hand and caused mayhem and whatever. I mean, you look at boxing, for example. Marvin Hagler beat Alan Minter in Britain, in London in 1980. Alan Minter was the middleweight champion of the world and, you know, a big British hero. And Marvin Hagler came along and beat him in the ring in about 3 rounds. It was rubbish. So Marvin Hagler became the middleweight champion of the world, and he sank to his knees. Oh my God, absolutely wonderful. And then seconds later, he was showered with chairs and bottles, and the police had to rush in. The crowd went ballistic. And Marvin Hagler swore he would never, ever fight in England again. He would never, ever do that. And there was other things, other boxing matches, and also football is legendary for hooliganism. They've had terrible crowd. I mean, I wonder in America, it was just to me that people in America are actually better behaved at these events than what the British ones in. I'm kind of curious as to why that is. Eamon Coates, quite amusing to see the girls dressed up their boyfriends' football teams. Then next week they're in different team shirts. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Oh yeah, it's bloody what we got here? We got what's it? We got X Online. Bobby Crush, Mike Ty said he wants to play football and be a substitute. I said, Don, you can't kick a ball. like it. Let's see, Charles Oliver, big brawler, a football match in Mexico. Like, yeah, that's right. Locals say 20 killed. I mean, why did he do that? I mean, why the hell, you know, if your team loses, but you want to go and bloody, kick someone else's head in? I mean, why the hell would you want to do that? Let's see. Fat Boy Slim, steady Eddie, always enjoy your chat. I'm stuck in the UK and you always make my day. Okay, fine, thank you. Fine. Thanks for that, mate, anyway. Okay, you have a great day, wherever you are. Or a nice, oh yeah, because it's very early in the morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning in England now. Leaving England. It's because the fans are drunk. Pocono sports. America has their sports issues. The New York Yankees, after bleachers creatures, and Philadelphia Eagles fans booed Santa Claus. Well, I mean, booing Santa Claus, it's such a bad idea. Okay, so anyway, is football taken far too seriously? I think it's a little. Yeah, my answer is absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I have a problem in England. I do have a problem because I have a Liverpool accent, and Liverpool, has a history of pretty good football. Sometimes I meet people from other parts of England, and they say, "Are you a red or a blue?" And when I have to explain, I'm not really a big foot. Because some people get all shit. Oh, come on, you must be. You must be into football. I'll leave you with this final thought on football, right? Why I'm often hostile towards football. Football is the only subject I know of where you can tell people that you're not interested, and they'll still keep bloody going on about it. If someone tells me they're not interested, I'll stop talking about it. This is the problem that I have with, I don't know. Oh, I said enough about all of that. Okay, league, and in the States, the NFL gets billions from the TV networks. I watch NHL hockey and F1 racing. I can watch Formula One racing, but it never seems the right time for me. Okay, is football taken far too seriously? I think the answer is yes, absolutely, far too seriously. Okay. So we're in a good little. Let's see what the comments are. Okay. So right now it is 5 a.m. No. It's midday. It's midday in Thailand. Yes. It is 5 a.m. in England. It's probably about 12 o'clock in America, midnight, and maybe a couple of hours earlier in some other place. In Australia, it will be a few hours ahead of here. So let's just keep going for a little weensy bit. Tony, I remember a story from way back in Brazil. A referee made a call against the local team. The fans stormed the field and decapitated them. Jesus. Well, there was that footballer in the World Cup, the Colombian guy, who did he miss a penalty or something? And when Colombia went out of the World Cup, they held him responsible, and he was bloody murdered back in Colombia. Oh, Jesus Christ. Farang Chef, I knew a guy once who supported Man U, and if they lost, he was sold for days. Sad bastard. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with the final bit of your statement. Okay. So all right. So what I'm going to do now? I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to put the kettle on again. There you go. That's the kettle on again. Okay, that's the kettle on again. Okay, so who's this? Side London, 22 millionaires running around the field in a Premiership. They're all filthy rich. It's a business, isn't it? It's a business. Mailers at 4 p.m. East Coast, Australia. Okay, well, I hope you're having a good day, mate. Anyway. Bobby Crush, I don't know anything about modern football, but my favourite player from the 1950s is Arthur Shuttlebottom of Accrington Stanley. Oh, he was a legend then, wasn't he? Absolutely. Eastern Man U supporters and Copites are like rats. No matter where you go in the world, you will never more than 50 metres away from one of them. Okay. So listen. Okay, this is I'm going to do a new little teensy weensy bit. Now, when I start talking movies, A lot of people just say, oh, God, I can't bloody listen to this. But some people like it and some people don't. But a little mini series, because there is experimental stuff. Okay. And this series is going to be called Okay, so what it is, as he thought of some of the best actors who've given the best performance. Have you ever watched a movie and you thought to yourself, my God, that guy, they couldn't have picked a better actor for the part. That is his best. It's either his best performance or you couldn't imagine another actor playing the part. And he's, and I thought, maybe I'll do the top 10 of those. And I ended up coming up with about 14. I'm only going to do a few of them here. Okay. But it's something to talk about. Steady Eddie Live channel. So for this little episode, they couldn't have picked a better actor. It's called They Couldn't Have Picked a Better Actor. And I'm going to name some of the movies that I've seen where a particular actor is so wonderful in it that you just feel you couldn't imagine anyone else playing the part. Okay. Back in a second. I'm going to fill my coffee cup up. There you go. I've just actually put the air con on because it's getting a bit sweaty in it. Well, I'm getting a bit sweaty. Okay. So let's see. What are the comments? Okay. So let's see. Bobby Crush. I thought the whale in Free Willy was a brilliant actor. I'd say this thing about that Free Willy. That anyone British people actually remember the film critic Barry Norman. He was really quite funny and irreverent, but he became a bit of a bloody bore after a while. And I remember once that he reviewed 2 movies. Somewhat of a hypocrite he was. He reviewed 2 movies. One of them was this comedy, and the other one was Free Willy, the film about the whale. Yes. And what he done is he reviewed the comedy movie, and I can't remember what it was, but he slagged it down and he described it as being full of smutty schoolboy humor, dirty, smutty schoolboy humor. Okay. That's what he said about this comedy movie. And then the next movie he reviewed was Free Willy. And guess what? His entire review consisted of jokes about Willy jokes about the title. What a bloody hypocrite. Anyway, I just thought I'd put that one in. Cy London, Orson Welles and a third man. Yes, magnificent. Who else we got? Frank Chef, Al Pacino and Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino, wonderful stuff. Wonderful. Farang Chef, Robert De Niro and Cape Fear. Yeah, wonderful. Wasn't the best Scorsese movie ever, but absolutely. Max, something or other. Wonderful. David Mayer, Ray Milland in Lost Weekend. I've heard of that one. I never actually seen it. Caroline Munro, she never delivers a bad performance. Legan, Steve McQueen, Bullet. That was an excellent. He was excellent. I think actually the car chase was the superstar of that film. But yeah, he was excellent. I wasn't a big fan of Steve McQueen, but he was good in that movie. Pocono Schwartz, Ben Kingsley, and Gandhi. I mean, what did he say in Only Fools of Us when he talked about one-hit wonders? And that dim one said, Gandhi. Why is Gandhi a one-hit wonder? Well, he only made one movie, and then you never heard of him again, did you? Okay. Ben Kingsley, yeah, fine actor. David Combs, Steve McQueen, and The Great Escape. So what's that? Quite recently, there, Steve McQueen. I wasn't a big fan of Steve McQueen, but yeah, oh yeah, he was good. Dave Mayer, Chris Lee as Dracula. Oh, wonderful bit of casting. Wonderful bit of casting. Andrew Johnson, Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I actually thought Tom Cruise was actually more impressive in that one. Charles Olivier, Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Oh, bloody good stuff. Excellent. Yeah, fine actor, Jack. But let's see. Okay. Legan, Humphrey Bogart, Casablanca. I love Humphrey Bogart. That wasn't one of my favorite, but I do love Humphrey Bogart. David Merchant. Okay, so anyway, I'll come back to these in a minute. Ralph Fiennes in Schindler's List. Who's this? Here we go. Jay Smith, Harry Enfield in Perry and what happened to Harry Enfield? It was bloody good. Frank Pierce Brosnan in The Matter. I didn't see that film, but he's a fine actor. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit, choose a couple of my favorites, and these ones are, movies where they just simply you couldn't imagine another actor playing the part, and these are ones that stand out for me. How about this guy, Popeye Doyle? I mean, no, The French Connection. It was going through a phase when the documentary style of right at the beginning of the 70s, the documentary style of movie making, the gritty, raw edged was coming in, and Hackman was just so perfect with this. I mean, it was actually based on a true story of I think the guy's name was Eddie Egan, and he was said to be one of the toughest. Well, he was said to be the toughest copper in New York, and it was his story. And what I heard is that the movie was actually planned with him to star in it, but obviously he wasn't a real actor. But they brought Hackman in, and Hackman had already been around. He'd been in Bonnie and Clyde, very, very talented actor, but he wasn't the most naturally charismatic actor. But he wasn't good looking. But they brought him as in The French Connection, and he was just so good. He deserved an Oscar. I mean, at the early part of that movie, there's all kinds of strange dialogue in there. He pushes a druggie up against the wall and says, "You have a picture feet for Kipsy. I'm going to tell the DA you picked your feet for Kipsy." It's all kind of strange dialogue. But Hackman handled it well, and even when you look back, some aspects of that movie may appear dated now, but Hackman's performance still stands out. A lot of people thought of him as a bit of a fascist figure, and he's not a politically correct at all figure. And a lot of this stuff, wouldn't be deemed politically correct in a lot of his language and stuff. But nevertheless, richly deserved to win an Oscar. Absolutely. Let's see. Eamon Coyle, Errol Flynn in Robin Hood. Oh, wonderful Errol Flynn. I mean, something in common with Errol Flynn. You know what I mean. We won't go into that this time of day. Poker Swat, James Gandolfini in The Sopranos. Absolutely, I would definitely say that there. Absolutely. Let me see. Who's that there? Barry Harmon. Robert Shaw and The Sting was a great. I wasn't a big fan of Robert Shaw. I wasn't a big fan of Shaw. But what I'm going to do, the next one I'm going to put on my choice here. The next one where they couldn't have possibly picked a better actor. And how about this? From one gene to another, the genes have it. Okay, Gene Wilder in Young Frankenstein, absolutely wonderful. Now, Young Frankenstein. He only made 3 collaborations with Mel Brooks. And this was the third and final one, which is such a pity because Mel Brooks is a brilliant film director. He had an amazing comic genius. And Gene Wilder was a naturally funny man. The comedy talent that Gene Wilder had, the visual look, you just couldn't buy that. And that's why he was perfect for this movie. in Blazing Saddles, his part was good, but I think he was better in this one. And also in The Producers, 1967, he played a brilliant part. Gene Wilder, a natty funny man. I think the sad thing is because Mel Brooks went downhill after this movie. His film started going a little bit downhill when he got to the 1980s. And I think it was because he started starring in his own movies. Now, Mel Brooks is a funny man, but he wasn't really a leading man. I think really, if they'd have kept up the partnership of Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder, they would have gone on to do so many other great things, really. But when you watch Young Frank, and this film is often cited by many people as one of the most perfect. They actually use the word perfect to describe this movie. It's absolutely. I mean, Gene Wilder was simply perfect for that film. They couldn't have chose a better actor. Okay, let's see. Legion, George C. Scott, Patton. Yeah, he was good, but he actually turned the Oscar down for that. He won an Oscar, didn't he? And he turned it down because he said it was degrading. Frank Chef, Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. I like Anthony Hopkins. He was perfect with that film, but eventually all of his performances seem to look the same after that. But he was really good in that one. Let's see. Is it possible? Is it possible for me to just get Facebook up for a minute? No. Sorry, is it possible for me to just get these? I'm just going to answer this one. There you go. Okay, there you go. Okay. So we're still there. Okay, sorry. While I'm on here, somebody's sending me a message on Facebook to say I'm just going to go down to soy 6 now. Do you want to join us? Somebody sent me that message. I had to reply on Facebook. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. What was I saying? David Coleman. Should I free Willie the very first time, but well, yeah, man, get it out and have fun with it. Andrew Johnson, Michael Clark, the Green Mile. Was he the big guy? Was he the big guy? He was perfect. A lot of people love that movie, and that is a movie I have seen it before, and I would see that again. The Green Mile, absolutely wonderful. So anyway, so both of those Genes get the thumbs up. Gene Hackman and Gene Wilder. They couldn't have picked a better actor. Okay, so next on my list, what have we got here? And the next one on my list is a wonderful actor, very, very versatile. But this is actually my favorite performance from. I actually think Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan. That is actually my favorite Tom Hanks performance. It is the most subtle. It's not, he's not going over the top like other performers like Forrest Gump and whatever. Very versatile actor. But I think that is a wonderful movie. If you've never ever seen Saving Private Ryan, please do so. It's one of the best war movies ever. It's one of those few war movies that I will actually watch several times. I've seen it about 3 times. I'll see it again. Wonderful movie. And of course, you have to see it on a big screen. But Tom Hanks, I think he was really impressed with this because he comes across as his performance is so controlled, and he plays the part wonderful. In civilian life, he says he's a teacher, but he's the commander of the troops out in, I believe out in France during the D-Day landings. And his performance, he's the kind of guy who you would like to lead your troop. He was the kind of soldier that you would like to have in command. He gives a very, very subtle performance, but he comes across as a genuinely decent man, a genuinely decent human being. As a lot of those people where, you know, we thought it was. You know, a lot of those were in civilian life were probably really decent people. I mean, that is actually my favourite Tom Hanks performance. I don't know if he won an Oscar for that. He's won Oscars for others, but that's my favourite favourite Tom Hanks performance, Saving Private Ryan. Okay, we've got some wonderful suggestions here. Jack Nicholson, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Absolutely. He won an Oscar. Zero Mostel in The Producers. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Oliver Reed as Bill Sykes and all that. I agree. Perfect. Couldn't have chosen absolutely. Oliver Reed's probably his best performance. Wonderful. Frank Chef, Jodie Foster in Contact. I didn't actually see that one. I'm not actually a big fan of Jodie Foster, to be honest with you. Okay, let's see. David Coleman. Who's your favourite actor in the movie The Great Escape? Well, there was Bronson, there was Coburn, there was McQueen. They were all there, weren't they? They were all there. I think in terms of acting talent, I think James Coburn's probably the best one. James Coburn, really. But wonderful actors in that film. Michael Powell, Marty Feldman as Igor. Yeah, again, same movie. That film, Young Frankenstein, I've seen a number of polls, and that is now, I think Quentin Tarantino as well said that is one of the most perfect movies. They used the word perfect. It is a perfect movie, absolutely perfect. Let me see. Okay. Kiki and Jasmine would say, I love the guy that played Frankenstein, played the father in Everyone Loves Raymond, a very funny sitcom. The guy that played Frankenstein played the father. Are you talking about Peter Boyle? Yeah, fine actor, Peter Boyle. I didn't see that TV series, but David Mayer, Barbara Steele in any film. But she was from Birkenhead. She was the old horror queen. She was in a lot of Roger Corman movies, wasn't she? She was actually from Birkenhead. Lovely woman. Kiki and Jasmine said, have you ever watched Citizen Kane? I have watched it. I've seen it a couple of times, and it's still a very, very interesting movie. But the idea, these film critics declared it is the greatest movie ever made. No, that's not true. In terms of its entertainment, its value, I mean, it's not true. But it was ahead of its time. And of course, Orson Welles, the man who started at the top and worked his way down, he started off doing the brilliant Citizen Kane and doing a few other things. And then he ended up doing TV sherry adverts, didn't he? Double century. Oh, well. That didn't sit well with Orson Welles either, because he hated himself for that, you know. But that was his own line. I started at the top and worked my way down. He couldn't really live with that. It always played on him, really. David Mayer, Tom Hanks is good in Elvis. Yeah, very, very, very strange performance there. I actually only seen the first half of that movie when I was on the airplane. I will see the rest of that movie when the time's right. David Coleman, Richard Burton in the movie Night of the Iguana. It's a classic. Absolutely. Well, I probably did see that movie here, but Richard Burton, wonderful, wonderful. Charles Oliver, have you seen Tom Hanks in Captain Phillips? That's a great movie, that Captain Phillips. He plays the captain of this ship that gets hijacked by Somali pirates. I've seen that movie twice, but I must admit he's very, very good in that film. But I must admit the lead of these Somali pirates, I actually think he steals that film. He is such a damn good actor. If you haven't seen that one, Captain Phillips, well worth a look. David Coleman, Tom Hanks really is good in every movie he's in. I agree, yeah, absolutely. I've never seen him deliver a bad performance. Legan, Bridget Bardot on God Created Woman, every other movie she was in. Okay. Here's an interesting one. Frank Chef, Yul Brynner in Westworld. Yeah, absolutely perfect. We could also set Yul Brynner in that musical. But I'm in Thailand right now, so we can't say that, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Andrew Johnson, Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver. Oh, awesome. Absolutely. I still reckon that, still think that's the greatest collaboration between De Niro and Scorsese. Absolutely. Absolutely. So where are we now? I'm going to remove that one. Okay. So I've got a couple more on my list. And we've got to include the woman. We've got to include the woman because we are on equal opportunities there. And I think the greatest cinematic Oscar-winning performance by a woman that I've ever seen, it's absolutely, totally mesmerizing. Couldn't imagine anyone else, was the wonderful, controversial Jane Fonda. And she played the prostitute Bree Daniels in a fine movie called Clute. And I think it starred Donald Sutherland as the detective, Jane Fonda as the call girl, and she won an Oscar. And she was a controversial figure at the time. This was in the early 70s because we had opposition to the Vietnam War and outspoken stuff. She wasn't popular with everyone. And when she won an Oscar, everyone expected when she stood up to collect that Oscar to make a big speech, but she didn't. I think she said something like, I've got a lot of things to say, but I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to collect the award. Thank you. I that was right. She totally deserved that Oscar. Honestly, if you've never ever seen that film, Clute, she is so real in that movie. She is so, when she's talking to a psychiatrist and, you know, dive into the problem, she is absolutely mesmerizing. No, you go to Meryl Streep. I think Meryl Streep is a fine actor and celebrates that. But I'm not really a fan of Meryl Streep, but I think in that movie, bearing in mind, there's only a few years earlier, she was playing Barbarella. I think in that movie, Clute, I've never seen an actress who was more deserving of winning an Oscar. Absolutely amazing performance. Let's see. Eason, man, Peter Sellers playing everybody. Oh, I agree. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. David Mayer, Vincent Price in any film. I love Vincent Price. I've told this story before. But when I was a kid, I just loved staying up late to watch the horror movies. And Vincent Price, amazing character, scary, creepy character, wonderful. And then I came home from school one day, and the afternoon TV was on, and I came home from school, and there was a cookery program on there. You know, these people, talking about cookery and dressed up as chefs and all that. And I could come, one of them was Vincent Price. Vincent Price, the scary man for the Pit and the Pendulum, was on an afternoon cookery show, and it was never the same after that whenever I watched him. Malaka, just about to head for the rompy-bompy Monger and Matt, you dirty old man. Have a nice time. Okay, Archie Westmoreland, stop raining where I am in Central Pattaya. Time to stretch my leg, the little one. All the things are getting smutty here. Things are getting smutty. Frank Chef, John Wayne in True Grit, absolutely. Rooster Cogburn. David Met, Judy Garland, Wizard of Oz. Yeah, did you know this? I had heard this before, but when the Wizard of Oz was released in 1939, it actually was a bit of a flop. It was actually a bit of a flop, that movie, to begin with. I don't know, I'm not sure the reasons with that, but it's only years later when it was reissued that it became more popular. Very strange there. David Coleman, landing on the beach in Saving Private Ryan was a bit too much for me, but I get the ball. Wonderful movie, absolutely wonderful. Steven Spielberg, he made family entertainment movies. I think he struggled at first to make more adult movies, but I think Saving Private Ryan is his best, non-family film. Wonderful stuff. So anyway, there you go. Number 4 on our list is the absolutely wonderful Jane Fonda, and in that film Clute, they couldn't have picked a better actress. They really, really couldn't. Okay, so Category Coffee, all the main actors in American Gangster were great. American Gangster is a great movie, but do you know something? I've never actually, it's not a movie I want to watch twice for some reason. I don't know why. I really thought it was good the first time I've seen it, but I've not really had the desire to watch it twice. I'm going to switch the air con then, because it's getting a little bit chilly in there now. Okay, so the grand finale, the grand finale, the grand finale, right? The grand finale. Finally, before I finish, we've been on for an hour and 21 minutes now. So one more on my list of they couldn't have picked a better actor. They couldn't have picked, oh, it's impossible to choose a better actor. And the one that I'm choosing is this guy, this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful actor. That there is not the best picture. That there is Lee Marvin. That is Lee Marvin in the film Point Blank. I should have picked a better picture than that. But that was from the movie Point Blank, which was a really violent thriller from the late 60s. I think the Point Blank was made in 1967, and that was a time when it started with movies like The Dirty Dozen and Bonnie and Clyde. All of a sudden, violence and adult themes came into the movie. And Point Blank, even now, would come across as a really tough movie. But Lee Marvin, that actor never ever delivered a bad performance. He often played gangsters or hard men of the screen, whether he was the hero or villain. He was around for years. I mean, in The Man Who Shot Liberty for Lance, he was the bad guy in it, but he actually outacted both John Wayne and James Stewart in that movie. That guy was a pure quality actor. And in Point Blank, a really violent thriller. I could have chosen a number of movies with Lee Marvin where you couldn't have chose a better actor. I could have picked The Killers, The Dirty Dozen, of course. He was absolutely commanding in that film. But I think Point Blank, for me, is the quintessential Lee Marvin movie. It was made by John Borman, a very talented filmmaker who went on to make Deliverance and also that wonderful Excalibur film. But it's really quite a strange film. It's a little bit enigmatic. But Lee Marvin plays a guy who's out to get the bad guys. He double-crossed them. And he's mean. He is mean, moody, and magnificent. And I like the days when heroes, they were big, nasty characters. You could believe in them. I'm sorry, when I see Tom Cruise throwing about the bad guys, I can't take that seriously. But Lee Marvin, wow, he looked like a big mean bad guy, and a wonderfully, very, very talented, naturally charismatic actor. So for me, Point Blank and other movies that it was in, they simply couldn't have chosen a better actor. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. David Mayer, Peter Lorre in M. Yeah. Oh yes. Peter Lorre was a James Stewart in Rear Window. Yeah, that was a good one. It was that Pat John, the bad guy in Dirty Harry. Andrew Robinson, I believe his name was. I heard that he struggled to get work after that movie for some strange reason. Frank Chef, Lee Marvin, and Paint Your Wagon. Not my favorite Lee Marvin or Clint Eastwood movie. Sean Young, Eddie. What about Shaving Ryan's Privates? That was a great movie. Don't you see that? Archie Westmoreland, John Holmes in Cracked. I didn't actually see that one. Hi Eddie, where will you be doing tonight? I'm in Pattaya now. We'll have me by a few days. I don't actually know. Stay in touch. Sean Harris, Prime Cut, first CC Space. Yes, that was another Lee Marvin. He played a similar gangster type of in a lot of movies. And funnily enough, it was in Cat Ballou, a comedy movie with the wonderful Jane Fonda, where he actually won an Oscar as the drunken cowboy. Did Lee Marvin ever deliver a bad performance? I don't think so. Absolutely marvelous. Yeah, Prime Cut was a very strange movie, that one. With a naked Sissy Spacek in it years before she made Carrie. Frank Chef, Gregory Peck in To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, he was a fine actor. He was a fine actor. Not one of my favorite. He was a fine actor. Cats and Good Coffee. I have to go. Have a good day, gentlemen. Enjoy Thailand. Okay, nice to hear from you, Cats and Good Coffee. Nice to hear from you. Okay, so we've done all of those. So they were five you know, sometimes I expected everyone to tune out when I started talking about movies, but no. I mean, you know, I think we enjoyed that little stuff. So there's more stuff to come. There's more stuff to come. So my little choice for Tom Hanks saving. You got me on. I almost said shaving right. No, what you know what I mean. Anyway, okay. So this coffee here. It's actually about 12:30 in the afternoon. I better get out and start doing things today. So what do you think? I mean, is this a good time to be doing? Is this a good time for anyone to be doing a live stream? I mean, I like the 10 p.m. UK time, but I simply couldn't do that. There's no way I could do 5 a.m. in the morning here. It just really couldn't do that. But I think we've had a nice little. We've had a you know nice little chat here anyway. We chatted about football and whatever. Some of you are going to bed now because it's late in the evening. Some of you are, you know, I've got the whole day ahead. That's the strange times that, you know, we live in. Let's see. Lee Marvin was in The Professionals. He was in a lot of good movies. A lot of good movies. Let's see, David Coleman. That is a good one. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew Johnson, Lee Marvin even had a big hit with "I Was Born Under the One." I absolutely it was #1 for me. In fact, when I was a kid, I actually knew all the words to that one. I was born under the wandering star. Oh my God, they were the days of Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West, and two little boys. And oh no, we don't want to talk about him. We don't want to talk about that guy. Don't want to talk about him. Okay, Paul Newman, Larry, David May, Larry, Olivia, and Richard. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think he's. Oh no, I was not a fan of Laurence Olivier. I wasn't. I know that's sacrilege. Okay, let's see. Sean Harris, Bad Day at Blackrock. Spencer Tracy, good movie. Good movie. Yeah, good me. Okay, so I've been on for about 1.5 hours now. I'll do a few more of these on Steady and Eddie Live. Let's see, Andrew Johnson. See you tomorrow, mate. Andrew, we're having a night out tomorrow. Anyway, we're having a night out, so he doesn't mean we're going to do another stream. Andrew is in Pattaya, so we're having a night out together, and it was great. We had a good night the other night, didn't we? We popped down to Nick's bar and various other places around Pattaya. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Andrew. We'll have another good night tomorrow. So I've got the whole day ahead of me. Some of you are going to bed. Some of you have just got up from bed and whatever. So anyway, I think if we're going to do any live streams on this channel, it probably will be sort of morning time, maybe around, or maybe a little teensy bit. We'll see what happens anyway. We'll see what happens. Okay. So listen. I'll say thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Have a nice sound sleep if you're in America, or have a great day if you're in England and you've got the whole day ahead of you. And have a nice evening if you're in Australia. Okay. Thanks for coming along, guys. Cheers. It's not often you see me drinking coffee, is it? Cheers. Have a lovely whatever. Anyway, see you soon.